Welcome back to more Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, everybody. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and tell you right now that this episode in particular is actually going to be a post-commentary. And as you can see, it's in ×3 speed if you take a look at the bottom left corner, which is a feature of the remastered version for the PS4, obviously, that you can go ahead and play in 3x speed if you want to. Normally I wouldn't do it except in grinding montages like this episode. Basically, if you take a look at the screen right now, these are the junctions that I have for my 3 characters that I'm going to be leveling up here in the island closest to heaven. So, as a really quick reminder, what you basically want to do, if you want to level up your characters all the way to level 100 as soon as possible, is to go to the island closest to heaven, and basically begin by utilizing only 2 party members, because here's the thing, I put Zell dead on purpose because I don't want him to level up. The biggest reason for this is because the bonus abilities that are listed in the abilities of characters that they can have up to 4, there's only enough for 2 characters. Basically the HP bonus, strength bonus, vitality bonus, magic bonus, and spirit bonus. You can give a character 4 of those 5. I recommend giving everything except magic, because magic is more offensive. It's less universal than like defense or special defense that are more important, you know? So, I said special defense. What is this, Pokemon? Magic defense and defense. So I recommend giving HP, strength, vitality, and spirit to your 2 characters. Leave the 3rd one dead, so that person doesn't get any experience. Junction 100 deaths to status attack, and attack pretty much all enemies that are susceptible to death. And the island closest to heaven, what you basically want to do and utilize is you want to fight Grendel enemies, you want to fight T-Rex Zars, you want to fight blue dragons, and I believe there's one more enemy. Can't remember though, but you definitely don't want to fight. Oh my god, he just used death right there as you saw that. Yeah, you definitely don't want to use or don't want to fight ruby dragons. Hexadragons are also not vulnerable to death, believe it or not, and then Malboros. So those 3 enemies, Ruby Dragon, Hexadragon, and Malboros, cannot be affected by death. Up to you if you want to do that, but I recommend not. After Ruby Dragon, and we got back attack there. One thing about Ruby Dragons is that they actually will not use their most powerful breath attack or meteor if your entire party is not alive, because Zell's dead. They're not going to use that. They're just going to attack physically, maybe use Fire Raga, some other shit. So it's kind of interesting, you know? And it does make Ruby Dragons a little bit easier. So here's a Hexadragon. As I said, they're not vulnerable to death, so you don't want to do that. All enemies in Island closest to heaven are at level 100, which is why you want to junction death, because if you don't, you're going to take forever to kill just one enemy, which is ridiculous. Like, it really is. Also, don't use tents to heal. If you use tents to heal, it's going to revive your dead character, in this case Zell. So I just use like Phoenix Downs and High Potions separately, or maybe an X Potion or something, but not a tent. But as you can see, that's basically the strategy. You just want to have your proper junctions for only 2 characters and then go from there. You can actually try to fight Malboros if you want to. There's a very easy way on doing it, but only once you're a certain level that you can do it and dish out enough damage. The Malboro's bad breath attack basically inflicts almost every status element on you, but if you have the protection against bio, meaning poison, confusion, sleep, and break, if you junction 100 magic of each of those 4 I just mentioned to status defense, you will have protection against those 4. Poison, sleep, confuse, and break. Which means petrify. Thus, you could technically kill a Malboro like that, eventually. The other thing that helps is if you actually put auto haste to one of your abilities to negate slow and get more attacks. And the problem with that is though that you have to nullify one of your bonus stat ups, so you don't want to do that. But eventually you could, once you have a character at level 100, you could do that. And just put that on them. It's very possible to do it. Very possible, and I don't know if I actually did it in this video. If I didn't, then I know I definitely talked about it eventually, like in another episode, but yeah, it's really convenient because you're also Berserk. It does put Berserk on you, which is really nice because that means you do 50% additional damage, which is good. You also don't need protection against blind if you have Squall or Stealthy with your Strange Vision, which is also at 255 accuracy. So kind of up to you on what you want to do with that and how you want to work around that, but yeah, also I will tell you that this video is not going to be just grinding for 30 minutes, or in this case I think it's like 26 minutes or so. It's a little shorter than the others, but it's not going to be that much. The grinding here will be about, I want to say about 8 or 9 minutes or so, around there. Then I move on to another thing. I just wanted to show off a decent amount of time here, so I can actually talk about all this with good time. The other thing I want to mention is that when you're also fighting enemies in the island closest to heaven, you are going to be getting a lot of really fantastic items so that you can use to remodel your better weapons. There's actually a lot of them when it comes to these amazing weapons. So the first one is Star Fragments. Star Fragments can be obtained by defeating Hexadragons in here, which out of the 3 enemies that are not susceptible to death, I would say that these are actually the easiest Hexadragons. Yeah, so they drop that. T-Rex SARs also drop Star Fragments. Dino Bones are also dropped by T-Rex SARs. Marlboro Tentacles are dropped by Marlboros. All these things I'm listing are for your, you know, again, ultimate weapons. So yeah, we got Star Fragments, we got Dino Bones, we got Marlboro Tentacles, Dragon Skin and Dragon Fangs are dropped by Blue Dragons. Curse Spikes can also be dropped by Marlboros. You need those for Selfie's Strange Vision, I believe. So here's an example. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, never mind. I thought I was fighting the Marlboro all the way. Never mind. I wasn't. But yeah, that's about it for those items. The only ones that you can't get here are like the energy crystals and like pulse ammo, because pulse ammo is refined from energy crystals. You cannot get those here, but I actually do show those off. I think it's next episode, if I remember correctly. Basically, you fight Elnoils in the S-Star region. There's a fixed encounter for Elnoils and you fight them there, and that's how that works. Really convenient, actually. But yeah, everything else, Dragon Fang, Dragon Skin, Marlboro Tentacle, Curse Spike, Dino Bone, Star Fragment, all those things can be obtained here. Sharp Spikes cannot be obtained here, but those are actually some of the easier ones. Those are for Quistis' legendary weapon. Basically, Grand Mantis has dropped those, which can be found in the Central Continent. I'm trying to think of what else, but that's about it for that. Screws cannot be found here, but screws can just be killed by killing a Geezer. Geezer can be found in the Galbadia continent really easily, actually. Shark Spike, screws, what else? Oh, windmills. Windmills can be obtained by defeating Abyss Worms in the Kashkabal Desert area. Or you can refine the Abyss Worm card 1-to-1, or you can refine the Pandemona card, which refines it to 100 windmills if you wanted to do that as well. Up to you on how you want to approach that, but the option is there regardless. And that's about it for that. I can't think of anything else in terms of legendary weapons. Oh, there's, yeah, Regen Rings and Force Armlets. Regen Rings can be obtained from, I think it's from, I think it's actually from the Mesmerize, isn't it? The Mesmerize things, the enemies in the S-Star region, they can also be gotten from there. And the Force Armlet can actually be purchased from S-Star, but you need the, like, Tomberger's ability that can enable selling rare items in shops. And you can buy that for, I think it's like 25,000, Force Armlet. You need that for Renoas. And the last thing, of course, is Energy Crystals, which you need like 6, I think, plus Pulse Ammo, 12 Pulse Ammo, which would be another 2. You need a total of 8 Energy Crystals. So, yeah, kind of a lot. Alright, so this section is done here with the grinding from, you know, grinding in Island Closest to Heaven. I'm going to be doing this up to level 100 with all 6 characters, off screen of course. But in the meantime, we're going to move on to a completely different segment actually. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. So, alright. Here I was just showing off my save files a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be going to the next portion. So for the next portion, basically, it's using 8 Marlboro Tentacles. So the Solomon Ring that you get in Tears Point, you want to grab that. You also want to grab your, what do you call it? 6 Marlboro Tentacles, 6 Remedy Pluses, and 6 Steel Pipes to get your Guardian Force known as Doomtrain. But you need to have the Solomon Ring first to get at Tears Point, so make sure not to miss that. So, the way that you do this is you want to go over to, it's actually timber. So, timber is basically right here in this area. All you do is you go into the forest near timber and you get into battles with Wendigos. Wendigos, if you mug them, they actually have a decent shot, actually a 100% shot, you know, sometimes it's like 1 or 2 or 3 steel pipes if you just mug them. So that's the best strategy to use to get some steel pipes, to simply mug them. Here we go. After he attacks. Oh, wait, mug him or kill him? Shit, what did I even do in this recording? No, I'm pretty sure it says killing him, not mugging him, right? I might be wrong about this, but oh my god, Odin came Zantetsuken. Wow. At the most inconvenient time, I suppose. I mean, you get this great experience regardless, but still. It's kind of weird. But yeah, so it's Wendigos. Wendigos do give the steel pipes. You just want to kill them. But see, I thought mugging them was actually easier, because if you mug them... Yeah, no, see, they give strength love, yeah. I knew it. So you actually have to equip mug, and you have to unjunction death, because if you don't unjunction death to a status attack, you only get 1 shot for each, what do you call it? You only get 1 shot for each Wendigo, because you're going to kill him on the first shot when you try to mug, and if you fail the mug, you're screwed. Like, you're honestly screwed. So here I actually get rid of Spirit Bonus temporarily from Selfie to actually give, yeah, there we go, so the Unjunctioning Death to status attack. Okay, so now if you fight Wendigos and you attack with your Mugger, you should be able to get, there we go, that was 4 steel pipes actually, you saw that. That is freaking fantastic. Oh my god. Also, playing at times 3 speed is honestly pretty freaking awesome. Like, it really is. There we go. So now I have 5 steel pipes, so I actually have to fight 1 more Wendigo here. And then there it is. So if Sophie just mugs, that thing is fast. It attacked 2 times in a row. There we go, there's a steel pipe. Now you just simply run. Okay. So that's the 6 steel pipes. You need at least 6 steel pipes. You need 6 remedy pluses, and you need 6 Marlboro tentacles. Now, Marlboro tentacles, I already talked about how to do that, obviously. But for remedy pluses, you want to actually purchase 60 regular remedies. Then you need medicine level up, which is an ability from Alexander. And it's, no, not high magic refine, it's medicine level up. Yeah, so it's from Alexander. Go to remedies, convert 60 remedies into 6 remedy pluses. It's 10 for 1. And there we go. Now, you got your 6 remedy pluses. And your 6 Marlboro tentacles at least, by killing Marlboros of course, and then you can activate the Solomon Ring, and that's essentially how you get Doomtrain. Doomtrain is a fairly interesting GF. It's mostly well known for being able to call the junk shop on command. But, yes, I'll briefly show it right here. So, there's Doomtrain. Junk shop, as you can see, is right there. It's already complete. It also gives a status defense junction times 4 and elemental defense junction times 4, as well as elemental attack and status attack junctions. It gives dark side absorb and auto shell. Junk shop, and then forbidden medicine refine as well at the very bottom, which is 200 AP. Holy crap, that's a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much Doomtrain. It's interesting for its really good junctions for status defense and elemental defense, as well as being able to call the junk shot on command instead of having to actually go to a shop. So that's kind of interesting how that works there. But yeah, so okay. And then here I end up junctioning Doomtrain over to Squall, just so I can give him some AP and experience, of course. Okay, so Doomtrain is done. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going down to the Kashkabalt Desert because I mean, need to show off this. If you actually go to the best place is a little island where you fought the Jumbo Cactuar. If you went around here, I know I briefly talked about this, but I never actually showed it in an episode. If you fight Cactuars here in the Chocobo Desert, you will actually get 20 AP per Cactuar that you defeat. Cactuars have incredibly low HP. They give almost no experience, but they have really high evasion and high speed. So that's why you want to have Squall and possibly either Selfie with Strange Vision or equip somebody with like triple to accuracy. That way you're able to actually hit them because their evasion is pretty ridiculous actually. So make sure to do that. Squall is not going to miss on them, there's no way. 255 accuracy is just way too damn high. Even when blinded. I think even when he's blinded in fighting a Cactuar, he still won't miss. Like, he really won't miss. That's how high that number is. But yeah, that's basically what you do when it comes to Cactuars. You know, I just wanted to show that off really briefly, just so you actually know what I do to grind AP. So now you know about grinding for, you know, experience and grinding for AP. The other thing I want to show off is if you actually put Encounter None on a character while you're in the island closest to heaven, and if you walk around and press X, you will actually get all these different drop points that give you some fantastic magic. Absolutely fantastic magic. Ultima, Meteor, Holy, Flare, Full Life, Triple. What else? What else? I'm sure there's more. Those are like the big ones right there that I just mentioned. But some of them also have like... I think the island closest to heaven actually has Tornado and Quake, which are a little bit weaker. But these are the big ones. Ultima, Meteor, Flare, Holy, Full Life, and Triple. Those are the big... Oh, and Aura. Aura as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, Aura is another good one. So all those can be found here. And they're awesome. These drop points do refill eventually, but they come in small amounts. I believe the most you can get per drop point is 5. Which isn't all that much, but considering how many drop points there actually are here, then, you know, it's actually kind of a good thing that they refill pretty commonly, at least, you know. So that's good. This is honestly one of the best ways in which you can get all your really good magic, by just going to these drop points and drawing a shitload of good magic. The other way you can do it, of course, is by refining from items, but the items to give you these kinds of things are, they're kind of rare. Holies you can get from Moonstones, which are not that bad because you can simply mug them from Elm Oils and Esthar. Meteors are a little tougher to come around. I actually am not completely sure on the best way to get meteors aside from here. Ultimas can be refined from Ultima Stones, which you get 100 from defeating Ultima Weapon. You can also draw them from Ultima Weapon if you wanted to, but you can also get them here. There's also a really good draw point in Shumi Village with Ultima that refills at a pretty good pace, and it gives you up to 15 Ultimas per draw if you let it refill all the way. And auras you can get from I think it's from, is it Fury Fragments? I think it's Fury Fragments, which can also be obtained from Blue Dragons. Oh, I didn't mention that. Yeah, that's another drop for Legendary Weapons, Fury Fragments, which can also be obtained from Blue Dragons. Yes, that's right. So the island closest to heaven is actually a little bit more to the north area. It's this island right here. So that island, if you do this, again, the same exact thing, put Encounter on and just run around, you will get some good magic as well. So there's some Aura, there's an Ultima, 4 more Ultimas, nice. A Holy, look at that. A Meteor, fantastic. A Meteor is basically the best magic in the game for strength after Ultima, but you don't want to use Ultima for strength. You don't want to do that. You want to put Ultima for elemental defense because it gives you immunity to all 8 elements if you have 100 Ultimas. Basically, Ultima is 1% resistance to an element, to all elements for every 1 Ultima you have. So if you have 100, you become immune to all 8 elements in the game, which is honestly fantastic. And if you further bolster that with like, I think it's Full Life and or Shell, you can absorb all elements. Basically, if you give 100 Ultima and 100 Shells to a character, you can absorb 20% of the damage done from all magical attacks that are elemental. Also, I just got the Magic Miner Trophy. The Magic Miner Trophy is available for you if you draw from draw points 100 times. To be honest, it's a lot more rare you know, to get before drawing from enemies 100 times. So don't be surprised if you don't get this by the time you finish most of the story mode, the 100 draw points, because there's not really 100 draw points out in the world that you can just claim for yourself. There's like maybe 50 or so, you know? So here I'm going back to Shumi Village so I can get that drop point yet again. I wanted to really quickly show that off, you know, because this drop point is really good for Ultimos, like I keep saying, like really good. It does cost you 5,000 every time, but it's very well worth it. Got 7 Ultimos from that drop point. Okay, not bad, not bad. Pretty good, I suppose. So next up on the list, what am I doing on the list now? Is it, yes, the Chocobo Forest. That's the last thing I believe on the list here. So for Chocobo Forest, there's like 8 Chocobo Forests spread out around the entire world, and every time you enter one, only Squall enters, because more than one person can like scare the Chocobos apparently, which is kind of bullshit, but okay. So basically Chocobo here will go ahead and give you some directions on how to use the Choco Whistle and the Choco Sonar and all this bullshit that I hate. So honestly, it's one of my least favorite parts about Final Fantasy VIII, the whole Chocobo thing, but it is a side quest regardless. You can do it to get the Chocobo card, which you can eventually lose on purpose to the Queen of Cards to get the Chubby Chocobo card. The thing is though, I'd rather just get all those cards in Disc 4 from the left Diamond Girl in CC in the Ragnarok. Much easier. But anyway, the way this works is that there's a sonar and a Ziner. The sonar is able to like detect where they are in the Ziner. You use it to actually capture the Chocobo, which is kind of weird, but there is a trophy associated with capturing a Chocobo. I'm just saying. So if you do manage to capture a Chocobo, you'll get your nice trophy. It's a nice little bronze trophy, but if you want to go for the platinum trophy, you got to do this. You got to do at least one forest. Luckily, this is the easiest one. The way you capture them is you want to stand in the right spot. The easiest way to find this, if you don't want to actually use your Ziner and Sonar yourself, go online, look at screenshots of where Squall is standing to actually sound off the thing, and you go from there. That's basically how you do it. And yeah, so this right here, I was actually like looking online. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on, you know? Like I need to actually see if I'm in the right spot, because if you don't sound it off in the right spot, you'll actually lose your Choco Whistle, which is both the Sonar and the Ziner. You'll lose it, and then you have to actually buy a new one from Chocoboy, which is like anywhere from 700 to 1200, I think, depending on the forest that you're in, which isn't a lot, but it's kind of annoying. They have to keep buying it over and over again, you know, so yeah, but okay. Down here, what was I doing in this menu? I don't know. There we go. So perfect. See, there you go. If you do it correctly, the Chocobo will land on the floor. If you do it incorrectly, the Chocobo will land on your head, and then you're fucked. So you can also actually try to get additional items. Okay, see, Whistle was stolen. I did it wrong. Yeah, there's specific areas in each forest where if you also sound it off, once you trigger the first Chocobo, you can get some additional items. Usually there's stones like Flare Stones, Holy Stones, Meteor Stones, and Ultima Stones, and Aura Stones. They're usually that kind of stuff, but I mean, they're there for you, you know, and it helps because you're able to actually refine them into pretty good magics, you know? So that's really convenient, that's for sure. So I don't know, I mean, I find the whole idea very, I guess very, how should I word this? Like very weird, because like, I don't know, would people actually go for all that stuff? I mean, yeah, you can refine it for magic, like I said, but I don't think it's worth getting all those rewards, you know? If it's for like little stones here and there. If you just talk to any Chocobo, once you make them spawn, the mother Chocobo will actually come. Then you can simply approach the mother Chocobo, and then you have an option of riding the Chocobo out or staying in the forest for a little bit longer. If you ride the Chocobo out, basically Chocobo is like, congrats on your first catch. It is a catch, and you get, what do you get? Oh, I thought you were gonna give me something. A Chocobo as a present? What? Okay, so we got a Chocobo named Boko, That's the same name as the Chocobo in Final Fantasy V, actually, the one that works with Bart's. Basically, Bart's is Chocobo. And there's a trophy as well. So, riding a Chocobo is, I mean, like any other means of transportation. It's definitely a lot faster than using foot. One unique aspect about Chocobos is that they're able to walk on shallow parts of water. You're able to see based on the coloring. As you can see, it's a much lighter color in the water here as opposed to the actual ocean. So Chocobos are able to go from island to island if the water is shallow enough. That's something that, I mean, obviously the Guardian could do it as well, but the Ragnarok cannot go through water for obvious reasons. It's a spaceship, pretty much. A spaceship. It's an airship, you know? Yeah, but that's about it for Chocobos. You can also dismount by just pressing X, getting out of there, and then once you actually dismantle, the Chocobo does leave. But that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this. So, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this post-commentary, kind of unique. So if you enjoyed this episode in any way, please be sure to like. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you, and as always, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great and fantastic day.